All right, just finished Facebook. Now I'm over here. And I got things I'm going to be doing today. So, welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome to Be So Light. I am Felicia. Let me turn this up some. And let's jump into to what we are doing in the wave today. Today is about your transformational energy. And I have one of my friends, she was doing her live today, Marty. Good show. Talking about those boundaries. Sometimes we have to set boundaries. And sometimes being in as a light worker and doing your work and doing your healing work, being a healer in general, you don't want to have to kind of like just kind of put your foot down, especially when you know some people need to communicate or step up or something. And what she was talking about, she had to put her foot down. And also, I'm finding out too, a lot of us are going through that because it's all about your boundaries and stating it as such. Also, note everyone, I'm hearing a lot of people are falling, a lot of healers, light workers, falling, tripping, falling, hurting themselves. So when I called I have friends today. I want to give a shout out to Kristen and Angie. Thank you so much for your help bringing over the things I need. Someone's getting me some groceries because I can't go down the stairs yet. And I'm like freaking out because I haven't started my car yet. And I'm like, why didn't I get gas when I was supposed to? And I didn't get gas yet. And it's been hot degrees. So I hope my car starts. I hope it doesn't like create some stupid vacuum thing and gets all weird. It wasn't blinking yet, you know, low on gas, but it was like, oh, you get those two little bars. You're like, oh, okay, it's time to get gas. Well, I'm at 2 bars. And it was like, okay, this weekend I'm going to go do all my grocery shopping and stuff. Yeah, I was too busy falling for myself. Dun dun. um, So now I have friends that are actually helping me. So thank you so much. I wanted to give a heartfelt love, felt energy out to both of you for helping me. One is ordering my food. The other one is actually bringing my health nutrition stuff over from the health food store. The health food store, Simply Nutrition. When I called in, they were like, what's going on? And I said, oh, and they're like, okay, what do you need? And they were able to get everything together so my friends could pick it up and bring it to me. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's in those times when we have to really surrender and ask for help and say, yes, could you help me with this, please? That's hard for a lot of us, isn't it? Is it hard for you to just say, can you help me? Is it hard for you to do that? I suggest you start practicing how to ask for help because sometimes you don't have to do everything by yourself. And that's what's wrong. We're so programmed, you got to do it all by yourself because if you don't do it all by yourself, then you're not being responsible, you're not being accountable, you're not being successful in this world. Bullshit. Sometimes you just have to say, you know what? I can't do it. I need help. And then things divinely align, and everybody, it was just like, I can go do that for you today. I can go get that and I can bring it to you. Thank you. Because I'm sorry. No shade to anybody who does delivery work, but there's just some people that might take a little something out of your bag, and then you're thinking, how come I don't have this? I ordered this, I paid for it, and it's missing because the driver, if they're not being honest and sincere, they're lifting your stuff. And that's why I stop if I'm ordering food through Grub or Hub or whatever. I will say, yeah, I'll get the food, but I won't order a drink because a lot of times the drinks won't show up. They keep the drink. So, and even after you tip them well, leave them a tip, they still lift something. So I'm just not down with all that stuff. So let's just step in to what we are doing today on this July the 12th, our 5th day of the wave. And we are going to step into this part. And it says, White rhythmic dog. I organize in order to love, balancing loyalty. I seal the process of the heart with the rhythmic tone of equality. I am guided by my own power doubled. I am galactic activation. Portal, enter me. So we got the color white. We have the planet Mercury. We have the crown for the chakra. We have Earth family for polar. We have a rune, and we have this message. Do not flinch from looking into the face of suffering and hunger and give what you can without hesitation. So give what you can. It's kind of like the same thing. You see somebody that's in need, you just help where you can. You do what you can. So that was right on key. Okay, so we're working with that second mental sphere. So that's going to be up here. Third dimensional cosmic, all in here. Informational. Now, if you're feeling Caliwampic today, Stefan Burns had just did a post that we had, I believe it was 2 supernovas happen last night around 10 something. I had a lot of energy last night. I didn't go to bed until almost 1:30. So I was like, why am I up? So I was busy doing my code, the Spark code. That's the code I was doing. And I was like, wow, this is really pretty. And it felt so intense when I was writing it out, and took it and drew it in the air with a crystal and felt it as it was elongating itself and spinning and moving. And I was like, that is so cool, because you charge it up in the plasmic light. And I was like, wow, that is really cool. So that is the spark symbol that was given to me. Hold on one second. I am expecting my delivery. And I said, more than likely, people will come right when I'm doing what I'm doing. So I did that last night, plus did a teaching in the Spiral Light group, put it all in there with the new codes and things. And I was just kind of doing the little bit of this, going down the rabbit hole. So supposedly 2 supernovas happened, and that energy burst out into the sky where people could actually see it. And it looked like an eye, but then there was one picture that they were showing that looked like that world thing. Remember the gold world flipping thing? Almost looked like that. And I said, well, look at the dynamics of that, how it was doing. Oh my gosh. So it's really a good idea to take a look at what he was talking about, going over to his page and looking at that post he just recently just did. It was really kind of interesting. So I was like, wow, so that explains everything about that energy I was feeling. So now let's take a look at this rune. Preth 103. So projects today. Initiation, something hidden, a secret matter. Ooh. Let me grab some water. Drinking my water. Okay. So the mystery rune pointing to the which is beyond our frail manipulative powers is on the side of heaven, and the unknowable as association with the phoenix, with the mystical bird which consumes itself in fire. Consumes itself in fire and then rises from its own ashes. Its ways are secret and hidden. So when we had the supernova, was that a phoenix happening? The star just combusting into a phoenix? Wow. Powerful forces of change are at work here, yet what is achieved is not easily or readily shared. After all, becoming whole, the means of it is profound secret. So you got to ask yourself this: when a supernova ruptures and that happens, what was it holding for it to finally shift to the next level? Because fire is transformation. So, what needs to be transformed today? What is that? We have to utilize the energy that is there, how bright the sun is because of that. That's a lot of charged energy engulfing us right now. So, how do you want to use this to start bringing in that magical transformation of the self? What is it that you truly want to transform? You're ready to just shed it. In Spiral Body today, we were talking about shedding, pushing down the energy into Mother Earth so she can transform it, getting rid of that. So, on the side of earthly or mundane, there may well be surprises gained or rewards that you did not anticipate. On the side of the human nature, this rune is symbolized by the flight of the eagle, soaring flight free from entanglement, lifting yourself above the endless ebb and the flow of ordinary life to acquire a broader vision. All this is indicated here. So sometimes when we look at this is so right in sync. That's what's so neat when we work with this calendar. You really, really get to see how in sync things that are happening. It's almost like looking into the future with this, and then throw a little bit of numerology on top of it, and then throw your human design on top of it. Oh my goodness, you got all this juiciness of how am I lining up into this? What's going on? How is this beneficial to me? Me creating or moving through or shedding or breaking free of something. So another of this cycle of the rune stands as the heart of initiation. Nothing external matters here except as it shows you its inner reflection. This rune is concerned with deepest stratum of your being, the bedrock on which our destiny is founded. For some, this means an experiencing of death. It needs to be let go of everything, no exceptions, no exclusions, nothing less than renewal of the spirit is at stake. Yeah. Experiencing a death. If it's not a physical death you're going through, is a deathing of a cycle, a deathing of a belief, a deathing of really letting go of a pattern that you no longer can keep dealing with, or putting yourself through. Or when we talk about, like my friend, when she was doing our teaching today, she's talking about boundaries. When you actually finally just say, okay, enough is enough, I'm done. I'm at that point in life where it's like when I look at things and I look at what I'm doing and where I'm going, how I'm shifting and being aware of what I am putting my energy with or who is in my energy field. And if I find out energetically wise, there's some kind of weirdness going on, yeah, goodbye, done. Not going to be doing that. because I'm just at a place. It also comes with when you're getting older. I'm a little bit more like watchful. I kind of pay attention. I go, what's happening here? If I see too many issues with you, I'm like, bye, gotta go. So it's just one of those things you're gonna find yourself really kind of doing that in that process. So I left Empress information. She did a good one on the breakdown of your birthday and when you enter, what day you enter on, what month that means, who came at what time of what years in between those years. That's a marker of what you are and why they watch you even more. So I hope you go and listen to that video, view that video, and take some notes to find out what you are. Because when she was calling out the dates, I was like, oh man, that explains everything. Grid walker, you see into timelines. You're able to look into timelines and look into things. I said, yep, can see it. And I said, gosh, it's so amazing the amount of information that's coming through right now that's jarring us awake, that's kind of putting little pieces and dots, connecting dots together for you to sit back and say, you know what? I was wondering about that. You know what? Oh, that makes sense. Because the messengers are all in place to give you the information. Now, keep in mind, it is a chess game. So you got the true messengers that are trying to make sure everybody's getting the truth. And then you got the dark messengers who want to infiltrate and distort the truth. So you can't decipher which way you're going. But the heart doesn't lie to you. And the true source creator doesn't lie to you. It will always stand in its truth. It will always reveal the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. It's always going to say it. The false light is always going to make up some kind of scenario to get you to agree to it. This is why it's so important when we are seeing a how do I put it, a feed of information that everybody is supposed to be jumping on the bandwagon about, because they want you to be focused on that thought process so you will manifest it. If they're saying, oh, there's a potential war that's going to happen here and da 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 da, and we're going to, so they keep feeding it into the collective, getting everybody's mind on the fear of that. And then because you fear it and because you hear about it, your attention goes there and starts to create it in this construct. But if we all are aware of it and you step out of it and you say, no, I'm not going to allow myself to be a part of that energy. I delete that. I neutralize that timeline. I'm not a part of that. I don't consent to that false narrative energy running around that's trying to create an outcome. Then when you literally just step away from it and you put your attention on something else greater, it starts to manifest that timeline. So this has got to be one of the most agitating things to these xenomorphs, because the narrative, they want you to fall in line with their narrative to keep it going. But if you are not falling in line with that narrative and you're going the opposite direction away from it, that kind of makes it a whole nother type of chess game, doesn't it? Because you're not putting your energy in that space, giving it there. You're not doing that. You're literally saying, nope, not putting my energy there. And it's the same when mothers are pregnant. Think about this. Same thing. And then we could take it and stretch it and expand it out to Mother Earth. But think about this. When a woman is pregnant, and if she's really in tune with her spirit and the spirit of the child, she's going to say to herself, I only want to be around healthy situations. I don't want no drama around me. I only want to listen to good music around me. I'm not going to be watching all this negative stuff on the news. News stands for Negative Environmental Word Service. I'm not watching any of that stuff. I'm not going to watch any scary movies. I'm not letting crazy people come over here and do all their drama. She's editing all that. She's going to take time in nature. She's going to be around water. She's going to be playing some good music, some sound bathing. She's going to be giving that baby all that wonderful stuff. So when the baby is ready to come into the world, the baby's going to have a nice arrival. It's going to arrive in the right timing, and it's going to come in a good vibration, a higher vibration, versus listening to chaotic music, listening to stuff that's depressing, being in argumentative situations, stressing, and now that baby is exposed to all of that. Now, let's take it and expand it. It's the same thing if we paid more attention to where our attention goes and what we're transforming ourselves into. It takes place here on Mother Earth. She starts to feel that. She remembers what it's like to be loved. She remembers what it's like to be appreciated. She remembers what it's like when you dig into her belly and you're singing and you're planting your plants and you're giving thanks for being able to plant something into her and what she's going to do to have that come up and become something transformed in your reality. She knows what that feels like. She's loving when you're kneeling down or you're just laying on the grass and you're just becoming one with her. She's loving that. She's not loving when someone's deciding to go put some kind of like explosive bomb device on her and blowing things up. That hurts. She's not into that. She's not into toxic waste matter being poured into her blood, and she's got to try to filtrate that. She's not happy when she sees the mammal life coming up to the surface and dying, and there's not they just come up to the surface and they die. She's not into that. But she also realizes she is a cycle of death and rebirth at the same time. And we are that also. But sometimes what happens, we become selective of what we want to death and rebirth ourselves into. And then the shocker comes when something unexpected happens that takes you into an entirely different field of energy, of coping, of how you're going to deal with that. Okay? So I really hope today you sit with the self. Let's take a look at our cards of what this will mean for you in this wave portal, stepping into this portal of that guided by the heart. What is the guided by the heart part? How are you feeling guided by the heart? What's the part that needs to be let go of? What weighs heavy on you? This is what gets me. Some people run into this thing of they don't want to feel. They don't want to cry. They just want to do the process of what they got to do, and they don't want to think about it. Especially when someone crosses over. When someone we love crosses over, that's hard. It doesn't matter if you're a nurse, a doctor. It doesn't matter. That is still not an easy thing to just walk through for your patients or for yourself. And when someone that you love or care about and you've been with day in, day out, talking and things and caretaking or or talking on the phone, and all of a sudden now they're not there because you were in a routine of a long time caretaking and or either being with that person and talking and laughing and talking, and now all of a sudden they're not there. It leaves a gap. And then some of us don't do very well with all of a sudden that gap is there. You try to prepare for it, especially if it was a long-term illness. But even after that has come to an end, you're like, what am I going to do now? My life force energy has been around this type of situation. That's what I've been doing day in, day out, day in, day out. And now all of a sudden it's gone. What do I do? How do you fill up that gap? The heart is in a place where it feels like it's out of sync, not feeling as though I don't know how to process this because I was in a routine and now it's not here anymore. It's different. There's an emptiness. What am I going to do with myself? And then what happens if you're not allowing yourself to walk through that and to feel that space and to cry, to release, to grieve it, you hold it in and then you try to fill it up with something else, like throw yourself into your work. You take on an extra job. You might take on extra shifts and take on extra projects just so you can stay busy so you don't have to think about it. Come home different times of the night and so you don't have to think about that energy. I remember when Deb passed, it was really hard for me to not see her on Facebook, or I had to take her out of my phone because I couldn't call. Same with Pam when she crossed over. Can't call Pam anymore. Can't call Deb anymore. Can't, you know, they're gone. They have transformed over where there's no need for phones and things like that to communicate. You just communicate through heart to them. Feel into that. So what is that part of yourself that needs to do that transforming and being true to the heart space? You know, what is that for you? What's that look like? What's that feel like? Because it's okay. It really is. It's okay when you start feeling as though you have to process everything. It's okay. It's okay to say, I can't do it today. I got to just lay down in bed. I feel heavy in emotions. My heart is heavy. How am I going to process this? I got to process this. It's okay to not be on the go and try to fill up every moment, every second, process so you don't have to feel something. It's okay. I think a lot of times we're afraid to give ourselves permission to feel what's coming up because that means you have to look at it. You don't get to numb it out. You don't get to drug yourself out on it. You get to feel it. Hold on one second. Okay, let's see. So just allow yourself to process what you're feeling, to go into that space and process it. Okay, so our initiation, let's take a look at some key point factors that we want to step into with this energy. You know, giving to the self, doing what you can do versus, you know, not. So what have we forgotten? Oh, wow. Isn't that right on point? I'm trying to time it just right, so. Oh. Okay. I'm going to have this card. And let today be that day where you kind of sit back and you do this, the prompting, kind of the communication part of this out. So everyone, take a picture of the sun. You know, see what the picture of the sun is doing today. Because those supernovas were out there. Man, it's so true. When the finger is sore, how the soreness. When it gets the sores, it's healing. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look, see? So we have principle of correspondence. Interdimensional transmission, working in two worlds. That's it right there. Principles of correspondence, interdimensional transmission, working in two worlds. As above, so below. This is the law of correspondence, a basic relationship found within the two levels of existence, on heaven as it is in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven, body and spirit, intention with and action. So I like that, intention and action, body and spirit, earth and heaven, working in correspondence. What's that feel like? Love that. The light language part of it is variance. We got this last time. Got it again. What are the variants? The opposite side of it is desire, realizing new pathways of becoming. Desire. Desire. What is that for you? Now that desire one, that was number 11. And I like how it's number 11 because that 11 represents like that doorway that you walk through. So it gives us, what are you yearning for? What is that? So the journal writing today is going to be, what's the correspondence? What is the desire? Okay. The next part that goes into that is going to be based on birthing the new. This is, come on, can't make this up. Birthing the new. Birthing the new. Transforming. What is the birthing of the new going to look like? What is the desire? And then the soul contract message is this: cosmic alignment. When you are aligned with the universe, everything flows. Your powers lie in the connection. Unity, harmony, resonance, and then inner outer consistency. So, what is this going to be about today? How are you setting your intentions today? What's the intention? What's the action part of that? How are you setting your intentions? Okay, do you just need like a timeout to kind of be? Because tell you what, since my knee thing, and I haven't been able to go down the stairs, it's been like, okay. So I'm on a little timeout. What can I get into? Okay, so everyone, I gave you their message. So just take this moment and this time, and I hope all of you are having a good day, birthing anew, planning things out for the self. So conception, now look at that. I just used about the birth. Conception, birth, new life, emotional support, gestation, fertility. I just said that about the mother. When a mother is being, having a baby, what are the things that you can't make this stuff up? Jeez. Do we just go? I just give you a message. There. Have a great day. Is that where we are now? Because I'm starting to feel like, oh, do I even need to do this anymore? Like, just because it's on point. It just divinely aligns. It just makes sense. It's on point. It just lines up. What happens when some supernova just erupts like that? 2 of them. There's so much going on. We keep thinking, oh, it's all about us on planet Earth and what we're going through, blah, 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 blah. No, it's a whole universal thing going on right now. The movie is about to get explosive. And the end results are going to be crazy, insane, magnificent. If we hold our attention on the higher timeline and give ourselves permission to only anchor for the highest good. Do we have to go through land eruptions and emotional upheaval and destruction and all that? Some places will experience that. Is that where their energy is? And then some people are just basking out in the sun, having a good time. Then others are seeing chaos. What timeline are you experiencing these things on? Because it's so dimensional right now. Everything is so dimensional. When you look at something, how I was trying to figure this out, why when I looked at that box, I literally didn't see cheese on it. Then I go back and look, and then I see the word cheese on it. It's like 2 different things happening, like a false and then a real. And I was like, whoa, what is that? All day, that kind of energy was happening. And I was like, wow, my goodness, this is crazy. How is that happening? All right, lovelies, I'm not going to be on here a super long time driving you crazy with all my shenanigans. So I want you to be good to yourselves and enjoy your Saturday. But ask yourself this one question. What needs to transform? I know. You're saying, I'm tired of this. Well, I tell you what. Go over and listen to Empress. I put it in the post section. Go into the community under post. Go look at that. Then start piecing together, what day were you born on? What was going on in the planetary area when you were born? When you came in? Then you'll see how important your role is on this planet. And like I've always said, we're not here to work ourselves to death. We're not here to pay for these stupid ass bills that these xenomorphs conjure up just so they can have money out of us. We're not here to be a part of the system being traded across the stock market. We're not. You want to know why it's so much debt? Well, gee, it's kind of crazy. All right, so go watch the video and enjoy that. I have my order that's coming right now, and I'm very hungry. So I will see you tomorrow for day 6. And we're moving through this pretty fast. What needs to transform? What is it for you? And I'll see you tomorrow. We'll dive a little deeper tomorrow. Bye.